We Christians view the history of humanity eternally as a sacred historical perspective centered on Israel and the Church. It is neither political history, nor the history of life, nor is it the tomb gate. History is not grand history. Rather, history is his story. This history, in a sense, unfolds centered around Israel and Christianity. Outside of this center, all nations and ethnicities are supporting characters. The structure of this history first clearly appears in Genesis chapter 12, where God tells Abraham that all nations of the world will be related to you, because you are blessed. Blessed are your descendants. Blessed are those who bless you. So, when the Biden-Harris administration repeatedly pressures Israel to cease fire, they have already been halted. We say this not only because of our stance, but as we study history and the Bible more, we increasingly recognize that this is fact and truth. Unfortunately, the outsiders do not recognize the truth. Throughout history, all human civilizations that are close to Abraham and his descendants are blessed. Those who hate them are cursed. The rise of the Persian Empire was because, it blessed Israel's return to their homeland. The Egyptian Empire was once very prosperous, because at that time it gently accepted the decree. When they rose up to oppress Israel, Pharaoh and his army were drowned in the Red Sea. All the firstborn of Egypt were killed. This is true in civilization. We have a misunderstanding of American history, occurred after the French Revolution. Atheistic perspective. The lie of Fan Fanji. America's prosperity as the world's leading advanced nation is not because of they have the so-called Puritan tradition, which is the result, but because they have always support for Israel. We will not glorify the Jews. There are many Jews who are not good people, and Judas was also a Jew. Say this to refer to the elect as a whole. Israel is the Son of God. America's prosperity is because it blesses the descendants of Abraham. Even the name of President Lincoln is Abraham Lincoln. Trump is a man of destiny. As one searches through the history of American presidents in this era, in my personal opinion, no one loves Israel more than Trump. These are the astonishing and brave feats done for Israel by people like Trump. I won't go into detail. But if Biden and Kamala Harris, the leftists, monopolize power in America for a long time, America will surely decline. Do you know when the British Empire began to decline? It was when they did particularly disgusting things in Israel. You can check the relevant history yourself. An empire collapses suddenly. In the end, even Hong Kong was taken away. Not only that, actually, the Chinese Communist Party is the same. China is the same. The most glorious period of the Republic of China was in the early to mid-1930s. Philosophers call it the golden age of the Chinese bourgeoisie, which was truly wonderful. The people were free and the economy was prosperous. At that time, it was China, the Republic of China government, when they greatly welcomed the Jewish people. When did the Chinese people live worse than It was when Mao Zedong was fighting Arafat at all costs. That was the most miserable time for the Chinese. people in the past 5,000 years. So when did the Chinese people start to live a bit more like human beings? That was during the era from Deng Xiaoping to Hu Jintao. The diplomatic relations with Israel reached a new height, to the extent that the two countries entered a honeymoon period. Israel's military technology and scientific advancements entered China on a large scale, and the Chinese also made many investments in Israel. A few years ago, I stayed in Israel for a month. I thought that, and then later I saw Wang Qishan going to that place looking sneaky and like a clown. But no matter what, that time was also the secret language of Sino-Israeli relations. So when did China and the Chinese begin to become neither human nor ghost, just like the Xi Jinping government? Shameless terrorism. China is too late again. We see history as being this simple. But this is the most effective clue. It's still the same saying. The Bible truly blesses you. Closed-door blessings. I help you. I help him. The same goes for Christianity. One of the most evil aspects of Christianity is that they proclaim themselves as the new Israelites. They think that by just shouting a few phrases, having faith in Jesus Christ makes them superior to Israel. So how does the book of Romans attack these people? You cannot boast while holding on to your roots. If you boast against Israel, you will also be cut off. So the history of Christianity is the same. When do you take Israel as an enemy? Go to the Middle East, love and love your enemies. Preach to the Israelites and show off to them. When will you be cursed? I am here. There are some very good brothers and sisters in Israel, or our co-workers in Israel. After the outbreak of the Israel-Palestine war, they spent most of their time volunteering there. He said that mainstream Christianity in Israel made him feel particularly disgusted. It is these so-called people who stay in Israel to preach Christ to the Israelites. Some Christians feel connected to the Israelites. They speak endlessly. No one dares to tell the Palestinians about history. History is also love. Actually, there are similar situations today. My feelings have been somewhat conflicted these past 2 days. Yes, now I see that mainstream Christianity, from leaders to congregations, seems to be rising up, attacking the corruption and decay of Paris. But I have hardly seen a church rise up to stand on Israel's side to criticize. The killing of those children in the Golan Heights. Why? Because we are both cowards and deceitful. On the contrary, there are many Christian terrorists. We can once again hear God say, "Enough. I do not listen to your prayers today." In Isaiah chapter 1, "Your Sabbaths are also an abomination to me, because your hands are full of blood." Heaven's whole. If we don't blame the massacre of those children, the murderer, hands are stained with blood. So the prophet goes on to say, you should do good deeds, seek justice, learn to do good. How clear this teaching is. So standing on the side of Israel is our basic guarantee of blessing. It is also the basic standard for the rise and fall, blessings and curses of human history.